Yes, that's right. We're getting a free limited 5-star. HSR is back. I told y'all to stop doom posting. I've always trusted in Hoyo. You all never knew what you were talking about. Wait, it's Don Heng again with basically the same outfit, and he needs his light cone to function? Oh, okay, that's awesome. I had heard good things about the Honkai Star Rail version 3.6 livestream, and at first, I really didn't see anything that raised any concern because I go into all Star Rail updates knowing that they won't be perfect. In fact, a free unit was better than anything I was expecting. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name. This is just Don Heng with slightly different clothes, but he's been what a lot of players have been waiting for, a preservation character. So yeah, it seems great at first, and you'd think, why would you not be happy with a free character? Because only his signature light cone works on him. Star Rail has really mastered this tactic of giving you enough to the point where you can be happy and defend the game, but also just giving you some extremely unnecessary caveat to compensate for their good deed. Is this unit gonna be great for new players? Yeah, of course. But in any gacha game, you get enough pulls at the start to get that shield unit that's on the banner right now. And if you are a veteran player, then good luck getting his light cone. Oh, but this isn't the first time that they've been shady about a free unit with their light cone. Archer, who was given for free with the Fake collab that happened to be not too long ago, was actually pretty well designed and was better than Saber. But of course, his light cone actually required you to pull 200 times on the gacha. I'm assuming that they just decided they wanted to make 200 million for the Fake collab, so that's the number of pulls they went with for the light cone. And don't forget about our favorite smartass, Dr. Ratio, the most jacked philosopher I've ever seen. I don't know about you. He was the other free unit given to us and was actually very powerful for the follow-up archetype, but shortly after this, he was power crept into oblivion. Unless you're just into smart dudes that are chiseled like Greek gods, there's absolutely no reason to use him. Let's not cope. As soon as Fei Xiao was released, she threw him out of his spot on his best team and gave birth to the best name for a team.
Hold on, yeah, beef and bouncy, I sound like a bubble. Stuck in the field, yeah, I'm calling a huddle. Big Balenci, I'm stepping through puddles. You know that, but yeah, I'm not gonna cuddle. Feel that weight, I feel like a shuttle.
Long story short, there's a lot of HP inflation and he doesn't do enough damage. If you're gonna give away free characters, you might as well have given away High Scene for free too. If you didn't know by now, pretty much every HP scaling DPS is legally owned by this Barbara XP. It's funny because it might be too late anyways, since we're getting towards the latter half of 3.x, and you know what that means. I know people are getting bored of this HP remembrance meta anyway. Even the new version of March wants High Scene, and of course you can run her without High Scene, but who knows how long you'll be able to keep that up. Her animations do look sick, but I can look past that. I know what comes with this amazing character design and insane animations. So if you really think about it, HSR is basically obligated to give you these free characters because of how bad the HP inflation is. Not to mention vertical investment is required for your older characters to last any significant amount of time. So why was there not any mention of a buff in this live stream? Matter of fact, they just need to start implementing reworks at this point because a buff is not a long-term fix for the problem, and they already know this. Tweaking a couple of numbers and then forcing the character to play by the rules of the current meta so that they use supports that you just released isn't gonna cut it. Some of these characters are simply just too bad. I don't want to see Luocha or Fu Xuan on the standard banner either. Buff the unit to where they can at least clear or rework them entirely. The content of this game is the characters. What are you gonna do? Take off work and sit through an 8-hour story quest and watch the same 2 animations over and over again? Obviously not. You want to play the end game that doesn't reset that often. Although there is a new end game mode, Anomaly Arbitration, which is a cool ass name by the way. This is the new final destination when it comes to difficult content in Star Rail. And I hope this sounds familiar because yes, it seems like they did take inspiration from their sister game Genshin Impact. And with this new mode, you do need 3 fully built teams instead of 2, which I don't think is a big deal in itself, besides the fact that Star Rail encourages vertical investment in such a major way and doesn't really give you the resources to compensate for that. You really have to sit there and meditate to fight the urge to pull, because you have to save for months as a free-to-play in order to guarantee what's pretty much required these days in a character being their light cone, and sometimes even their E1, because you don't want to be greedy and stupid. Be thankful you even get Jades. Hoyoverse could be a lot less generous and give us only 20 pulls per patch. I can't believe some people complain about pull counts. Be grateful Hoyo even keeps the servers up so you can play every day. But anyways, this mode offers a new reward called the interference key, and if you realized the Stygian onslaught similarities immediately, you'd know that this is pretty much the same kind of thing that Dust of Enlightenment is. The problem is that there isn't many people that can even get access to this Dust of Enlightenment item, and the people that can get it probably don't even need it. It probably will be the exact same thing with the interference key. It's arguably more annoying in Star Rail because of their relic farming being more boring than watching a Genshin livestream. You can go months without even getting an acceptable piece for a DPS, so why not just give away this item for free? I'm sure anyone would appreciate an item that can prevent a bad stat on a piece from being rolled into, because you can really devote a part of your daily routine to a bunch of anime girls with one of their leg sleeves rolled up, and all you'll get in return is a couple of pulls from dailies over the course of 2 months. Star Rail would be a near perfect game by tomorrow if they didn't make $30 million a month on just mobile alone, or however much money they make on average. I don't know. I'm not saying you have to stop playing the game or anything. I come back every once in a while and run around with Acheron because she has long purple hair and cuts black holes in half with one of the coolest looking long swords I've ever seen in fiction. But don't let that distract you from the fact that they have the means to not aggressively monetize this game anymore. So yeah, I don't think that Star Rail is dead or anything. Arguably, it's more playable than Genshin right now, depending on who you ask, but this dev team obviously knows what we want, because every once in a while they will do something that is a huge step in the right direction, and then they're like, okay, now let's release another support for Casterus. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world, but I could see why it's annoying for a lot of people, because I don't remember ever seeing this type of favoritism for anyone else that Casterus is getting. She has good horizontal investment, insane vertical investment. She has the AoE capabilities and single target. She has a full premium team not too long after her release. And then there's characters that are borderline unusable, if not completely unusable. No exaggeration. Remembrance is getting very annoying, and let's be honest, Elation is probably going to be a lot worse considering how well Star Rail is doing. By 4.x, Casterus will absolutely need Hyacinth, who, remember, is a character that completely hard carries an actual pile of shit to a 0 cycle along with this little girl. The game is always being so obviously shilled toward Hyacinth users, with some boss mechanics even being designed around her. She is literally a sustain, a sub DPS, and a buffer all in one. This is the LeBron James of Honkai Star Rail. And of course, you really want her in Anomaly Arbitration too, because the sustaining is much needed in there. What you have to realize about Star Rail is that they are starting to get creative with the power creep, because just doing big damage is not enough anymore. We're seeing power creep with a sustain team. So now they've created a new problem where it's going to be harder to balance than just a couple of tweaks here and there, but in a way that favors their business model. They've created a situation where they can push every other team back all at the same time when they inflate their HP for their endgame in 4.x. Okay, I don't like Hyacinth a lot more than I thought, but I'm sure some of you understand. The favoritism sometimes for certain characters is completely overwhelming, and it seems like a joke whenever you can catch the patterns for this type of behavior. If you are a longtime fan of Star Rail and you're still okay with what's going on, then you will probably be here until EOS, because there is so many things that will be able to pull you back in. Look how long they held that fake collab over our heads for. So if you'll excuse me, I'm about to play Honkai Star Rail for the next 15 hours straight so I can save up for a character that I don't even know is coming out within the next year or so. I just want to be prepared. Now it's time for your gacha jargon word of the day, and let's go with drama. An exciting emotional, or unexpected series of events or set of circumstances.
I call myself the gacha god because I know gacha. I know what they truly are, I know how they work, how you're supposed to play them, what to look for to know if a gacha is like a good one, and most importantly, how to improve them. Or in other words, contrary to popular belief.
Okay, so can I explain to you why I know you don't know what gachas are? Because you play 13 of them.
So I want to have a serious conversation. I think that drama isn't good for the space, and we yeah, just kidding. I think it's hilarious, but thank you all so much for watching this far if you have. You look cute today. Peace.